Greetings. I'm Isha, the spiritual director of the Assisi Institute in Rochester, New York. And I'm excited to talk to you about a new online course offering that begins July 1st. It's a 6-month online course entitled Peace, Politics, and Power. But before I do that, I want to put it in a context. You don't need me to tell you that we are living in very unsettling times. I don't remember the climate in our country and even in the whole world ever being this divisive. And the upcoming presidential election is really at some level just fueling more of the divisiveness. And I think for many, many people, this is causing a great deal of anxiety. It's almost like things are changing and are in such a flux that I think many people are even experiencing some level of disorientation. There was a man I talked to recently who said to me that he never thought he would question whether the United States would remain united, never questioned whether the Constitution would hold firm, never even questioned whether our democracy would stand. He said all of that is up for grabs now. And he talked about how that created for him this internal confusion and disorientation. So I think at some level, we're all impacted by the craziness in the world and in society. And at some level, it is stressing all of us. I go here because this course, Peace, Politics, and Power, has really been constructed in such a way to help us deal in a creative way and a wise way with all of the stress and angst that we are experiencing in our present climate. Let me say it this way, that what we're experiencing is in the world, and again, in our own culture here in the United States, is like a cauldron of hostility, anger, fear, reactivity, ideological fanaticism. And the only way I think that we can respond in a healthy and proper way is to not jump into the fray in a reactive sense, but first of all, to ground ourselves spiritually, to go to a higher consciousness. And that's part of how the course is designed, to help us plug into the wisdom of God, the peace of God, and the love of God, so that we're not A, overwhelmed by the chaos, and B, so that we can be a light in the darkness, so that we can be a source of hope and healing in the midst of all of the craziness. Secondly, the course is designed to give us some concrete pathways. So, for example, I know one of the things that is happening is that sometimes families are completely divided through vis-a-vis this political divide. Friends are divided. So I want to give us some skills and some techniques to maneuver through on a very practical level, to take that divine wisdom and how to implement it in our day-to-day lives, how to handle these stresses and these tensions. Lastly, in the course, I'm not going to endorse any candidate or any political platform, but I do want to help to create a lens so that we can see beyond our prejudices and beyond our fears what's really happening. How can we really be open to the situations that are confronting us? And what are the stories that we bring to these situations? Some of those stories may be helpful. Some of these stories may not be helpful. So that's what the thrust of the course is going to be about. Again, helping people to go to a transcendental, spiritual state of consciousness where we're open to God's love, peace, and wisdom, and we can implement that in our lives. I want to give people specific strategies to implement in their lives to handle these difficult times, and also, again, to empower people to be light in the darkness. The world needs hope now more than it ever has. We're going to be leaning very heavily on the wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda and the whole tradition of Kriya Yoga. Also, we're going to be leaning into the wisdom that our Judeo-Christian background has to offer us, and also what a healthy common sense psychology can teach us about navigating these waters. The specifics of the course is that, again, it's a 6-month online course. It begins July 1st. At the beginning of every month, you will get a deep, I don't know if deep is the word, but you will get a thorough video from me processing all of this. And again, talking about ways that we can connect with the divine and navigate through. The third Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there will be a Zoom session with me where we can process the material and really support each other through this whole process. Also, I will be sending little mini videos a month as situations arise, and I think there's some need for commentary and further implementation of the course. So you'll get those in addition. The suggested cost is $300, but it's a suggested cost. We want to really keep this process open to everyone. So whatever you can honestly pay, we will accept that. If you go to the link below, it'll give you some more information and tell you how to register. So I, again, want to invite you to participate in this 6-month online course. Begins July 1st, goes until December 31st. I think you're going to find it inspiring. I think you're going to find it informative. And I also think you're going to find it practical. So I hope you'll consider taking the course. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. The divine in me bows before the divine in each one of you. Namaste.